Hi everyone, welcome back again to another Flutter tutorial. And in this session, we'll be just dealing with the development of this UI screen. So this is just a dashboard screen which I have just designed for our fitness app. Okay, and what I have prominently used for rendering this UI is I have made use of the stack widget. So as you could notice that this images, this containers is everything is placed in their corresponding position with the help of the stack widget. Okay, so you can see that they are just extended beyond the container limit, which is possible with the help of the stack widget. Similarly for this preview, so this container is just placed in between the container and the background. So stack widget is what plays the major role in designing these kinds of stuff. And I've just made use of the attractive colors, and that's it. So nothing big. So let's just move on to the coding part to know how to just build over this UI from scratch. Okay, and before that I will just walk you through the basics of folder structure, what I have used for rendering this UI, so that you can just get a clear idea of what we are just talking about. So first is the declarations folder. So inside this declaration folder we have two folders. One is global and images. Inside this global declarations we have this hex color code, which is kind of light blue. So this is the color what I have just made use of, which is so this light blue I have chosen as the primary color for our application, followed by the images. So inside the images folder we have the set of all image files. Okay, so you can see that the top clipper. So this top clipper I have made use of with, so you can see that it is rendered over here at the top. This blob is what I call the top clipper. I haven't made use of custom painting to just draw over this kind of blob. Just made use of the images and place them in the corresponding position, and that's it. So, and similarly all the images what I have used is just defined over here in this dart file. Followed by the images we have the dashboard screen. So inside this dashboard screen we have all the colors. So these are the set of all colors what I have just used over here in the dashboard screen. The individual colors for workouts, challenges, custom manual workouts, relaxations, and the food. So, so this workout container color is actually this orange color. This light orange is what I call the workout container color, and this workout preview color is nothing but this container. So this top container with the dark orange color is what I call the workout preview container. Similarly for challenges, challenge preview container, custom workout container. Similarly, so this the wordings I have just changed. Okay, so this file is responsible for all the colors. So all the colors are defined over here in this file. Followed by the declarations, we have the general widget, which I have just made use of with the custom widget. So there's the spacing for height and width, which is will be later used in the development process. Followed by those the rendering method, that is the screens. Inside the screens we have only one screen over here for now, which is the dashboard screen, and inside which we have the UI and widgets. Okay, so this widget folder actually contains individual components. Okay, first is the top clipper. So this blob is actually the top clipper. This dart file is responsible for rendering that top clipper in the corresponding position, followed by the right container. So this right container is what I call, so this orange container and pink and this green at the last is called the right container. So just because I have named them as they are just attached to the right, leaving some space on the left, so I have just called them as the right container. And the left container is are those which are left. So this light blue and this dark blue are called the left containers. Okay, so why have we just made use of the left and right containers? That we will be just designing a single code for rendering this type of containers and just changing in the colors and the wordings. So we'll be making use of the components repeatedly just to avoid the boilerplate code. So you can see that in the body.dart file. So I will be reusing those components, just changing the wordings along. So just passing the words and the index of the colors, so that it will just keep rendering that kind of containers with the same styling. Okay, just to avoid repeated coding stuff, I have made use of that kind of styling. So inside this body.dart file will be just wrapping up all the components that is all the widgets in Flutter what we call. So I'll be just binding them all together and just render them in the screen. Okay, so this is all about how I have just made use of the folder structures. So just to make sure that you understand the folder structures, if you just want to clone my repo. Okay, so I will also just build up certain widgets in this video to make you aware of how the rendering method is being followed. Okay, so let's move on to the coding part now. All right, for rendering these kinds of images, the rendering file is just placed over in the UI screen. So in the UI folder we will be calling the build body. Inside this build body is what we will be having the function build render, which is responsible for rendering all these images. So as of now we have no children, so inside this column widget we have no children. So let me just restart it again so that the cache gets cleared. So you could see that all the widgets are gone, as we have not just defined any children for the column. We are getting this black screen. Okay, so now let's just build over individual components and see the rendering function in action. First is the top clipper. So we just need to build the top clipper, and the parameter is it requires the context. Okay, it requires the build context. So you can see after rendering is complete, you can see, you can just note how this top clipper is displayed. So it is actually an image which is placed at the top. It also contains the text which is just positioned in that particular place using the stack widget. Okay, followed by the top clipper, what component we need to render next is the right container. That is, you can just move on with the container stuff, and before that we need to have some spacing between this dashboard text and the container. For that we'll be making use of the height spacer, which is the custom function what I have just defined earlier, and just pass in the value, that is the height parameter, how much space you need. So this is actually the logic is the size blocks I have used. Just uh, I have just made them as the custom function with the word as height spacer. Okay, so we just left a gap of 25 pixels, and now I can just build up the container. First is the right container. Build right container is the function, and it actually takes these kinds of parameters. One is context and followed by the color index. So the color index is actually for the first right container, it is 0, and the title, so the title what we can have is workouts. Okay, and the subtitle is actually again a string, that is which is displayed in the bottom container. The text is regular workouts, and followed by which the last parameter is the image index. Okay, so the image index for that is 1. Right, now let's just hard restart and see how the rendering is. Okay, it has just rendered it perfectly. Okay, so the workouts, regular workouts. Okay, color is matching and the image is also the same. Okay, and the next is followed by the right container. We need to have the left container, that is the container which is attached to left, and before that again we just need to have, can just copy this again. Okay, we just need to have another spacing, and this time instead of 25 we can have it as 50 pixels gap. Okay, and instead of right we can have it as left, because we are just entering the left container, and the index for the color is 2, and the title is challenges. Subtitle is, can have how many days you can have challenges for 30 days. Okay, this a custom subtitle, 30-day challenge, 30 days challenge. Okay, and the last parameter is the image index, for which we have the image index as 2. Okay, okay. So we have just successfully rendered the left container. Okay, the image is right. 30 days challenges. Again, we need to leave spacing, and now the color index is 4. Title is custom or regular. You can have it as annual workouts, and the image index is 3. Okay. Similarly, we can have the left container next. Subsequent, we have the left container with the color index is 6. Title is relaxation, and subtitle as yoga. Meditation followed by at last the image index is 4 for that, and I'll just enter that one. Okay, the only thing left is the food, that is diet. I think we just messed with the height, right? It's 15, 15, 15. At last we just need to have a height spacing of just 25. Okay, okay, that's good. So instead of, we just need to change the words for the last container. I think color index is 8, title as food, subtitle as nutrition and diet, followed by the image index as 5. Okay, yeah, we just got that right. Well, that's all about the rendering process. Okay, so hope you just understand how the rendering process is just made. Okay, so just don't confuse each of which is a custom function. So it is a just a vast set of coding which I just don't want you to bore with. Okay, so you can just clone my repo and see how it is just placed in their positions. Okay, well, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do so, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.